I would move that the town board of the town of Webster, Monroe County, New York, pursuant to section 202-B of the town law, determining that it is in the public interest to undertake certain improvements to the town of Webster Consolidated Sewer District, consisting of the water pollution control facility, asset renewal project, and the water resource recovery facility improvements.
Second.
Councilwoman Cataldi?
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
The next is also the sewer plant, and this is direct, also in part B, perhaps, of the public hearing. I'm told that the resolution number 7 was mere formality, and now we're really going to get into it. In this resolution, I move to amend the July 2023 $81.5 million bond resolution on the sewer plant to reflect the total project cost of $87.3 million. But before we move into the vote, I want everyone out there to know that because we're looking at the total project cost of $87.3 million, that doesn't mean we're spending that. That is the limit that we can spend to without going through this process again. And again, I would reiterate what I said earlier, that the town board, we will all be looking at that very closely as we move into signing that next amendment. We are not committing to spending 87.3, nor are we bonding 81.5 million. That's what we went out for initially, but since we've received a $20 million grant, thank you, I'm losing words here, $20 million grant, we're actually looking at probably bonding $66 million on this project. So, yes, so that is my motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Cataldi?
Aye.
Supervisor Flaherty?
Aye.
Councilman Wynn?
Before I vote on this one, I just want to, can I speak a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. I just would like to let people know that, sometimes you have to look at life as positive, and, look at, the glasses half full, not half empty. And this is the biggest investment that we have for our town. And it will bring jobs and revenues, to our community. And also to the Fair Lake, and the state of New York and Comida and the county of Monroe and Industry, they invested $600 million on this project already. And I know that, we would not want it to vote no on the project because it's, the $6 million upgrade is only 1% of the total cost of the project. So sometimes the rate of good is outweigh, the bad. So I would vote yes on that.
Councilwoman Wright?
Similar to Jenny, I had some concerns about the additional money for this project. I am the newest member of the board, so a lot of this work had been done and a lot of the financials were gone through with a fine-tooth comb at the time, or maybe not with a fine-tooth comb, because the board was under an awful lot of pressure to come up with an estimate for this project to be able to receive that $20 million grant, as I understand it. And at one point, this project may have even been pushing $90 million, and the work that Patty and Tom did was helping to push that number down and make it more affordable to the town. Last week in the meeting, we were talking about this and talked about a contingency or having a contingency, and I don't know, technically, if the number came in at $90 million additionally, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. But what's very important is what Patty said, is just because it's being increased to $87 million doesn't mean we're going to spend $87 million. I think that's very important to understand. And we are going to work very diligently on the third amendment to do whatever is in our control to keep this project moving forward and to make it affordable for the town of Webster. So for those reasons, similar to Ginny, moving Fair Lake forward, it's very important that we we vote yes to get this project done. So, aye.
Councilman Cahill.
Well, my comments are quite similar to yours, Jennifer, and I know, we spent some time meeting with the representatives of the sewage treatment plant this week, and we subsequently have submitted a number of questions related to the project and some of the processes involved that got us to where we are today. And we will be looking very hard at amendment number 3 in conjunction with the Fairlight contract itself. I have a number of questions related to the construction because some of the processes that were undertaken are not the same processes that we utilize in commercial construction. And I work on projects, not 87.3 million, but a couple of my projects are well over $1 million. So that being said, we do need to continue because to vote no, basically put this project to a halt. And that would not be good for the town, would not be good for Fairlight. So at this time, I'm voting yes. But amendment number 3, as Jennifer mentioned, will be scrutinized. So to look to see where we can reduce more costs.
Thank you. As we get to the last couple of resolutions on the agenda tonight, this is a sewer department wastewater recovery, Coke, Fairlife, and 2025 budget night. It's quite the night of resolutions. The interesting thing about Councilwoman Wright and Councilman Cahill's comments about this third amendment with Navitas, our energy performance contractor. First of all, I couldn't agree with more that we need to really roll up our sleeves and make sure that we do the best for the town on that. Heretofore, we have done $61.5 million in contract on this project with Navitas. And that's the original contract from June of 2023 that was voted on by this board. The first amendment for $20 million on November 16, 2023. And then the final amendment, or the second amendment, was in March of 2024 for slightly over $1 million to bring us to approximately $61.5 million. The third amendment is basically, that's it. That'll be the final contract. So this is our one and only and last chance to make sure that we do best for the town citizens and taxpayers on that. And I certainly expect over the next 4 to 8 weeks, or however long that process takes, that I know this, I'm going to tap into the talents we have on this board, the talents we have in the department heads. As John just said, of anybody on this board, he's got construction experience in spades. Well, this is a construction project. I'm going to be leaning on him to look at things that this guy, who's a mortgage accountant, wouldn't know about in the construction. Jennifer's experience professionally in business, leaned on. Jenny, what you've done professionally in your life. Patty and I have been involved in a lot of this, but I'm looking forward to that involvement from the rest of the board because, interestingly enough, I think since the middle of 2021, and Michelle Anderson brought it up earlier that she was disappointed that the village opted to not join with the town. That was in June of 21. The town then had to say, okay, we need to move on. We need to move on with our sewer plant project. And amazingly enough, I think we've done over 80 resolutions in the last 4 years tied to that sewer plant project, tied to the Navitas contract, tied to Coke Fairlight. That's a lot of resolutions. I mean, this is amazing how this has just evolved over the last 3+ years. And interestingly enough, we're down to the last 3 resolutions. You got the 2 that we're about to vote on, and then sometime in the next 4 to 8 weeks will be the resolution, God willing, to authorize the supervisor to sign the 3rd and final amendment with Navitas to finish out the contract. So we're at the altar, but as John and Jennifer said, you know, before we put the rings on each other's fingers, this is our one chance to make sure that this is the right schematic for everybody involved.